When it came time to write this album, to write Make a Move, I had experienced some recent success with co-writing from the last album, from Sweeter, particularly with the song Not Over You. Fortunately, I was able to team up with Ryan Tedder, one of my favorite people in the world, and write together. And I really see that. I saw that moment and the success of Not Over You as, in a way, really the resurrection of my career, you know? And it allowed me to see that the music world really is wide open. And there are certain things that you thought were rules aren't necessarily rules. Only maybe 4 songs were co-writes on the last album, but being that it worked, and I was lucky enough that it worked, I thought, wow, maybe this is the whole new type of career to go for. Try something different here. And so with this album, with Make a Move, I decided I would co-write strictly throughout the entire album versus writing the bulk of it on my own. For a couple reasons. One is because I wanted the album to be as diverse as possible. I wanted it to remain interesting. And also I knew that by writing with other people, I was much more prolific. You'd get so much more done working with other people. And having those other influences obviously would lend itself to making the album more interesting. You know you're gonna have different personalities, you're gonna have different perspectives, different styles. And if you could find a way to make that somehow cohesive, it would avoid the predictability element of an album. I go in the studio one day and we want to try something different. So Martin brings up some crazy drum beat, and he just drums the acoustic guitar as fast as he can. You know, he's got the drums up as loud as they can go, and I could hardly hear anything. And he's saying, "Sing something." I said, "What?" "Sing something, anything, just sing anything." And so I said, "Okay." And I said, "Melt to Antarctica, Saving Africa, I failed algebra." And then he said, "And I miss you sometimes." And I laughed because it was so off the wall. But at the same time, that was the stroke that it needed. It needed to have that framework, this stream of consciousness approach, whatever's going through your mind, throw it out there, and now let's throw in an object of affection because that'll help it be relatable. Throughout the course of the song, it really feels like a road trip. You know, it is this Kerouac sort of feeling. It is one of the most enjoyable writing sessions I've ever had, just because of the nature of the song. It almost didn't matter what we said. We had the freedom to say anything because of the style of the actual sound of the song. It's that kind of, there's a bit of a beatnik Americana thing happening in there, even though it's been modernized. It really lets you kind of be a little bit nutty as far as being a lyricist is concerned. It's very freeing. When I wrote I Don't Wanna Be, I was really listening to, I was hearing so many of the songs that were coming out at the time, and so many of the new artists that were coming out in different genres. Essentially, they'd say, "My name is, I'm from someplace, all my homies or all my people or all my friends are like such and such, and I represent this." And I thought, it seems like such a simple way to approach it, but at the end of it, but realistically, it's so smart to just write a song that is essentially stating your identity. And when I wrote I Don't Wanna Be, it was a song that I was writing to share with the world or any audience, hoping it would be the world ultimately, of course, what my identity was and who I was and where I was from and what I represented, you know, and share my perspective in hopes that people would connect and go, "Oh wow, that's like me," or even if it isn't just like me, I like where he's coming from, you know. I think that is essentially the reason that the song has provided some long-term success, is because it was so honest, you know. And people really just want something that they can say, that's real, you know. I'm not embarrassed to like that. I feel like that is legitimate, you know. By then there being the affiliation with a show, with something affiliated with TV that fortunately became a bit of a phenomenon at the time. It really just helped me get my foot in the door, you know, to get another opportunity to follow it up at some point.